The film The Sound of Music is not just a motion picture. It is an immortal cinematic experience with songs like Do Re Mi and Edelweiss having become classics. However, today, we shall draw back the velvet curtain. Behind the radiant smiles of the Von Trapp family and the misty, fog-covered mountains lies a world of underlying hardship. This includes premature deaths, secret battles with illness, and the complex truths surrounding the pressures of fame. Our goal is to explore the real tear-jerking stories behind the stars, especially now that the majority of the cast has passed away. Christopher Plummer as Captain, Georg von Trapp. The legend who denied himself. Christopher Plummer was born on 13th of December 1929 in Toronto, Canada, in The Sound of Music. 1965, he embodied Captain Georg von Trapp, a strict widowed naval officer living with his 7 children. Plummer was only 35 when he took part in the film, but his aristocratic demeanor, deep, warm voice, and melancholic gaze made his portrayal an indelible icon. Captain von Trapp, with his cold exterior concealing a broken heart, is gradually warmed by music and love, an emotional journey that Plummer executed with rare finesse. Yet few people know that Christopher Plummer himself despised this film for many years. Although the role propelled him to the height of fame, he felt trapped in the image of the model father, whilst he himself yearned to be recognized as a serious theater actor. He famously called The Sound of Music the sound of mucus, a bitterly sarcastic remark that revealed the internal conflict between his pride and his deep frustration at being typecast. Beyond the limelight, Plummer's life was also full of ups and downs. He struggled with alcoholism, loneliness, and marital failures. His 2 divorces left deep wounds, particularly the distant relationship with his eldest daughter, the actress Amanda Plummer. Despite being celebrated by critics, he always carried a sense of solitude, a man who constantly had to maintain a perfect image while internally battling an incessant struggle between art and life. Christopher Plummer eventually learned to accept the sound of music as an inseparable part of his artistic journey. In his later years, he once shared that the film has given the world so much joy that I can't be cross with it anymore. That statement was not only a forgiveness of the role, but also his own reconciliation with his past and himself. Plummer passed away on 5th of February 2021, aged 91, at his home in Connecticut. His body was cremated and his ashes were interred in Canada. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at around $20 million, the culmination of over 6 decades of tireless dedication to the arts. Christopher Plummer's legacy lies not just in his awards or major roles, but in the image of a sensitive artist constrained by his own discipline. Just like Captain von Trapp, he was a man who learned to let go of pain, to open his heart to music, love, and forgiveness, not only on screen, but also in real life. Eleanor Parker as the Baroness. The screen abandoned for the pursuit of personal happiness. Eleanor Jean Parker was born on the 26th of June, 1922, in Cedarville, Ohio, USA. In The Sound of Music 1965, she played Baroness Elsa Schraeder, the sophisticated, intelligent, and self-assured woman who almost became Captain von Trapp's wife. At 43, when she took on the role, Parker was at the peak of her beauty and acting form. With her graceful demeanor, haughty gaze, and slightly mournful smile, she transformed Elsa into the perfect model of elegance and also a symbol of unfulfilled love. On screen, Elsa is the woman who knows she has lost the game of hearts, but withdraws with pride. Off-screen, Eleanor Parker experienced a similar journey, successful yet lonely, famous yet forgotten. She was nominated for 3 Academy Awards and hailed as one of post-war Hollywood's most talented actresses, yet her name gradually faded as commercial cinema took prominence. Unlike many of her contemporaries, Parker did not seek sensationalism. She chose roles with deep psychological complexity, requiring subtle transformations. This path led her career to less of the spotlight, but made it more profound. Behind her success, she had to face broken marriages and persistent loneliness. She once said, "I am not afraid of being alone. I am only afraid of not acting anymore." That statement reflects the soul of an artist strong on stage, vulnerable in private life. After The Sound of Music, Parker gradually retreated from Hollywood, living a secluded life in California, away from the crowds but quietly following the film world she once belonged to. When she passed away on 9th of December 2013, aged 91. Eleanor Parker left a silent legacy not of fame, but of the absolute respect of the artistic community. Her net worth was estimated at around $10 million, but her true value lay in her irreplaceable character and style. Heather Menzies-Urich as Louisa von Trapp, the smile amidst heavy rain seasons. Heather Menzies-Urich was born on 3rd of December 1949 in Toronto, Canada. In The Sound of Music in 1965, at just 15, she successfully portrayed Louisa von Trapp, the clever, witty third child, who often devised mischievous pranks within the family. Louisa's innocence and vivacity created an endearing image in the hearts of the audience. Heather's life after the film was a series of profound personal events. Her greatest tragedies stemmed from her life partner, and eventually herself, as they both had to battle cancer. Her husband, actor Robert Urich, passed away from a rare form of cancer in 2002. This loss transformed Heather into a tireless charity warrior. She established the Robert Urich Foundation to raise funds for cancer research and care for patients afflicted by the disease. Subsequently, she also faced a similar battle when diagnosed with late-stage brain cancer in 2017. She spent her final years as an inspiration, turning personal grief into humanitarian action. Heather Menzies-Urich passed away on Christmas Eve, the 24th of December 2017, at the age of 68, only 4 weeks after her diagnosis. The cause of death was brain cancer. Her net worth at the time of her passing was estimated at around $5 million. However, her greatest legacy is not her wealth, but her benevolent spirit. Her life is a powerful testament to using fame for the benefit of the community, rising above all the fleeting glamour of Hollywood. Charmian Carr as Liesl von Trapp, the shade of youth that never fades. Charmian Carr was born on 27th of December 1942 in Chicago, Illinois, USA. When she appeared in The Sound of Music 1965, she was just 22, playing Liesl von Trapp, Captain von Trapp's eldest daughter, 16 years old. Innocent, gentle, and just stepping into her first love. With her radiant smile, sparkling eyes, and clear voice in the song, 16 going on 17, Charmian Carr touched the hearts of millions of viewers worldwide. The role of Liesl became an emblem of youth and innocence, but also the huge shadow that obscured the rest of Charmian's life. Despite her massive success with her debut role, she could never escape the image of that 16-year-old girl. After The Sound of Music, Carr almost entirely withdrew from Hollywood. She once said, "I didn't choose acting, it chose me and then left me just as I began to love it." Following the film, Charmian married and spent many years in interior design, opening her own design company in California. Yet her heart never truly left the world of The Sound of Music. She often attended cast reunions, interacted with fans, and wrote 2 memoirs, Forever Liesl and Letters to Liesl, like letters to the youth that remained forever on screen. However, Charmian's life was not without tragedy. She battled dementia in her later years. When she passed away on 17th of September 2016, aged 73, friends and colleagues remembered her not only as the lovely Liesl, but as a woman who lived fully with a single role. Her ashes were interred in Los Angeles beside her family. Her net worth was estimated at around $5 million, mainly derived from her design work and film image rights. Peggy Wood as Mother Abbess, sacrificing her career for the final role. Peggy Wood, whose birth name was Margaret Wood, was born on 9th February 1892 in Brooklyn, New York, USA. Peggy Wood was a Broadway legend before transitioning to film. She played Mother Abbess, the kindly Mother Superior, and Maria's spiritual guide. In 1965, when the film was released, she was 73 years old and one of the oldest actors in the main cast. Although the role of Mother Abbess is cherished for its serenity and the iconic song "Climb Every Mountain," Peggy Wood's personal tragedy lay in the sacrifice and health difficulties she endured. Due to her advanced age and frail health, Wood had lost her singing ability by the time of filming. This led to a bitter and sad decision. Her wonderful voice in the film had to be entirely dubbed by singer Marni Nixon. For a seasoned theater and musical actress like her, being unable to perform her own song, which would be her last in her career, could be considered a profound regret. Following this film, Wood almost entirely ceased acting. Peggy Wood passed away on 18th of March, 1978, at the age of 86 in Stamford, Connecticut. The cause of death was a stroke. Her final resting place is Greenwood Cemetery, Brooklyn, New York. Her net worth at the time of her death was estimated at around $1 million. This figure reflects a long and respected career in the theater, but also indicates how the shift in Hollywood led her to step back in her final years. Marni Nixon as Sister Sophia, the unsung hero. Marni Nixon, born Margaret McKeithrin, was born on 22nd February 1930 in Alameda, California, USA. Nixon was a singer and actress with a gifted voice, but was primarily known as the person who dubbed the singing voices for other actresses. In The Sound of Music in 1965, she appeared in a minor role as Sister Sophia. She was 35 years old at the time. This character was a nun in charge of the sewing room and a supportive friend to Maria. However, Marni Nixon's personal life and career tragedy are intrinsically linked to the role of the ghost singer she had to assume. She is famous for dubbing the singing voices of non-singing screen legends, such as Audrey Hepburn in My Fair Lady Natalie Wood in West Side Story, and notably she dubbed Peggy Wood Mother Abbess in The Sound of Music itself for the song Climb Every Mountain. For many years, she was the brilliant voice kept forbidden from revealing her identity, because film studios feared audiences would not accept this truth. This was a great injustice to an artist of exceptional talent. This sorrow was compounded by other personal tragedies. She lost a son to cancer, a tremendous loss in her life. Marni Nixon passed away on 24th of July, 2016, aged 86 in New York, USA. The cause of death was breast cancer. She was cremated. Nixon finally received the recognition she deserved in her later years. Her net worth at the time of her passing was estimated at around $5 million. This figure is modest, but the legacy she left is significant. Marni Nixon shaped the sound of Hollywood's golden age of musicals, proving that even when hidden behind the scenes, true talent will always shine. Richard Haydn as Max Detweiler, the reclusive life beyond the limelight. Richard Haydn was born on 10th of March 1905 in London, England, in The Sound of Music. 1965, he portrayed Max Detweiler, the witty, humorous, and mischievous music manager who was both Captain Von Trapp's close friend and a pragmatist well-versed in surviving in a changing world. When the film premiered, Haydn was 60 years old in the late stage of his career, but he still shone with his droll, style-measured voice and subtle comedic timing in every line of dialogue. Max Detweiler is a supporting character, yet an incredibly memorable one, a playful individual who hides many deep thoughts. Similarly, Richard Haydn in real life was a discreet, enigmatic, and mysterious person. Although he often played eccentric or humorous characters, he was a serious man who lived a secluded life and rarely appeared in public. There were no scandals, no noise, but behind that quietude was a lifelong loneliness. He never married, had no children, and rarely shared details of his private life, a choice that led many in the industry to describe him as Hollywood's hermit. Haydn had appeared in many famous films before The Sound of Music, including Alice in Wonderland, 1951, as the Dodo, and Then There Were None, 1945. However, the role of Max Detweiler became his final signature, and the role for which the public remembers him most fondly. After the film, Haydn gradually retreated from the screen, spending most of his time living a reclusive life in California, raising birds and reading books, his only two hobbies that helped him maintain peace in his old age. Richard Haydn passed away on 25th of April 1985, aged 80, following a heart attack. His body was cremated, and his ashes were interred at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at around $2 million accumulated over 4 decades in the entertainment industry. Richard Haydn left no fanfare. Only the gentle smile and mischievous raised eyebrow of Max Detweiler, the symbol of an artist who knew how to make others happy even when the laughter had long been absent from his own heart. Portia Nelson as Sister Berthe, the multi-talented artist, facing anonymity. Portia Nelson was born on 27th May 1920 in Brigham City, Utah, USA. In The Sound of Music. 1965, she played Sister Berthe, one of the nuns at Nonberg Abbey, a strict yet inherently kind-hearted woman. Although not a major role, Nelson's presence brought warmth, gentleness, and depth, contributing to the film's sacred and refined atmosphere. When she joined the project, she was 45, having been a cabaret singer-songwriter and stage actress, a rare, multi-talented artist of her time. Portia Nelson was not a prominent face among the stars, but she was the silent soul of The Sound of Music. Her singing voice, clear, simple, yet powerful, expressed the faith, love, and compassion of those who chose to live in silence. In her personal life, Nelson possessed a similar soul, quiet, profound, and embracing life in the simplest way. Few people know that Portia Nelson battled breast cancer, an experience that completely changed her perspective on life. In the years that followed, she shifted her focus to writing and songwriting, leaving a deep mark with her famous poem, Autobiography in 5 Short Chapters, a concise work containing a profound philosophy on stumbling self-awareness and self-healing. Her artistic life was not filled with glamour, but it was rich in depth. She appeared in numerous television shows and on Broadway, always maintaining the gentle, composed manner, much like the beloved character of Sister Berthe. Portia Nelson passed away on 6th of March 2001, aged 80, in New York. Her body was cremated and her ashes were interred in her hometown. Her net worth at the time of her death was estimated at around $1.5 million, primarily derived from her composing and performing career. Portia Nelson left behind a legacy that is not loud but full of inspiration, a legacy of kindness, of a voice raised in faith, and of a soul that knew how to smile even when the stage lights had faded. Anna Lee, as Sister Margaretta, the kind heart, amidst a hymn of faith. Anna Lee was born on 2nd January 1913 in Itham, Kent, England. In The Sound of Music, 1965, she played Sister Margaretta, the gentle and compassionate nun who quietly protected Maria and shared with her a belief in love and benevolence. At 52, Anna Lee was a seasoned actress, having appeared in 4 decades of Anglo-American cinema. With her kindly eyes and voice as soft as the wind, she depicted a benevolent Margaretta bringing the warmth of compassion to the cold abbey. Before The Sound of Music, Anna Lee had been a muse for director John Ford, appearing in classics such as How Green Was My Valley 1941 and Fort Apache 1948. She was beloved by audiences for her elegant beauty and noble bearing. However, her real life was full of turmoil. After immigrating to the U.S., Lee went through 2 broken marriages and lost her son in a tragic accident, a pain that almost broke her. Yet, like Sister Margaretta, Anna Lee always chose to rise and continue believing in good. She returned to television, remaining for decades with the long-running serial General Hospital, where she was regarded as Hollywood's grandmother. She worked tirelessly until a traffic accident in 1981 left her partially paralyzed. Despite this, she continued to act from a wheelchair, proving that passion can overcome physical limitations. Anna Lee passed away on 14th of May, 2004, aged 91 in Beverly Hills, California. Her body was cremated and her ashes were laid to rest in her homeland, England. Her net worth at the time of her death was estimated at around $7 million, a testament to her persistent career and tireless dedication. Anna Lee is the embodiment of timeless strength and benevolence. Despite a life full of loss, she kept the light of faith in her heart, the very thing that made Sister Margaretta and herself a beautiful symbol of humanity in a challenging world. Ben Wright, as Herr Zeller, the forgotten villain. Amidst the passage of time, Ben Wright was born on 5th of May 1915 in London, England. In The Sound of Music, 1965, he played Herr Zeller, the stern and terrifying Nazi official who brought an atmosphere of threat and conflict to the von Trapp family. Wright was 50 years old at the time, and his role, though small, was an important piece in recreating the darkness spreading across peaceful Austria. With his deep cultured voice and cold demeanor, Wright made audiences despise the character, yet that very hatred was proof of his talent. Ironically, Ben Wright's career was almost entirely typecast in the image of the villain. He was often chosen for roles as strict German spies or officers, even though in real life he was humorous, polite, and incredibly humble. Born into a middle-class family in London, Wright was a radio announcer before immigrating to the U.S. after World War II. He entered Hollywood with standard English pronunciation and flexible acting ability, but the film industry only saw in him a cold European face. Although not as famous as many of his co-stars in The Sound of Music, Wright left a profound mark in Disney voice acting. He voiced Roger Radcliffe in 101 Dalmatians, 1961, and Grimsby in The Little Mermaid, 1989. The interesting fact is that his emotional voice, which once made people fear Herr Zeller's words, became a warm symbol in the childhoods of millions of Disney viewers. Ben Wright passed away on 2 July 1989, aged 74, in Burbank, California, after a heart attack. His body was cremated and his ashes were interred at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at around $3 million, mainly from his voice acting and television work. Ben Wright's life is a testament to the paradox of acting. The man who frightened audiences on screen was the one quietly bearing the kindest smile behind the camera. In a world where the light only shines on heroes, he chose to be the perfect shadow, and that very shadow helped forge the legend. Gilchrist Stuart as Franz, the mysterious life and death of a supporting player. Gilchrist Stuart was born on 19th of January 1919 in London, England. Like many other English actors in the production, Stuart was a familiar face in supporting roles. In 1965, he was 46 years old when he played Franz the Von Trapp family's butler. This character was a quiet yet crucial supporting role who managed the family's affairs and represented loyalty to the captain, despite showing no clear attitude towards the political upheavals. Gilchrist Stuart's personal tragedy lies in the lack of information regarding his private life and his relatively early death compared to his contemporaries. Audiences know almost nothing about his off-screen personal life, a common reality for supporting actors working in the shadows of Hollywood. His life was a contrast between the image of the strict butler on film and a mysterious existence in real life. Although he was an experienced supporting actor, Stuart died at the relatively early age of 58, abruptly ending a career that never quite had the chance to fully shine. Gilchrist Stuart passed away on 8th of June 1977 at the age of 58. The cause of death was not widely publicized, adding to the mystery surrounding his life. Information about his final resting place is not publicly available. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at around $500,000. This modest figure once again reflects the life of a diligent supporting actor who quietly contributed to cinema, but never achieved the fame or wealth of the leading stars. Norma Varden as Frau Schmidt. The Repressed Life of Solitude. Norma Varden was born on 20th of January 1893 in London, England. Varden was a veteran character actress in Hollywood cinema, often cast as aristocratic, stern women or housekeepers. In 1965, when The Sound of Music premiered, she was 72 years old and played Frau Schmidt, the Von Trapp family's housekeeper. She was known for her cold, dignified appearance and disciplined demeanor, representing the rigid principles of the old regime. Norma Varden's personal tragedy lay in her solitude and the secluded life hidden behind her dignified facade. Throughout her life, Varden never married and had no children. Although she acted in over 200 films and television programs, she maintained an extremely private and discreet personal life. This prolonged, single life, especially in an industry that favors glamour and romantic narratives, could be seen as a personal choice, but it also hints at the silent struggles with loneliness and societal pressure. She passed away just before her 91st birthday, a quiet end to a long and distinguished career. Norma Varden passed away on 19th of January 1989 at the age of 90 in Santa Barbara, California. The cause of death was heart failure. She was interred at Santa Barbara Cemetery. Information about her net worth at the time of her death was not officially disclosed, but it is estimated to be a modest figure reflecting the life of a hard-working character actress. Her legacy is the image of an actress who always demonstrated professionalism, but her solitary life is a reminder that not every star finds happiness in the spotlight. Doris Lloyd as Baroness Eberfeld, a long life in roles that were never the lead. Doris Lloyd born. Hesse. Doris Lloyd was born on 3rd July 1891 in Liverpool, England. She was a veteran actress who had appeared in hundreds of films and television programs throughout a career spanning from 1916 to 1967. In 1965, when she appeared in The Sound of Music as Baroness Eberfeld, a guest at Captain von Trapp's party, she was 74 years old. This character was one of the friends from the Austrian aristocracy representing the old social class. Doris Lloyd's personal tragedy is that she dedicated her entire life to the arts, but never escaped the role of the character actress despite her talent and exceptionally enduring career. She is a typical example of artists who had to work tirelessly for decades accepting small, silent roles to earn a living in the demanding film industry. Her frequent limitation to supporting roles prevented her from achieving the recognition she deserved. Her life is a testament to tireless perseverance, but also a reminder of talented individuals overshadowed by the glare of the leading stars. Doris Lloyd passed away on 21st of May, 1968, at the age of 76 in Santa Barbara, California, just 3 years after The Sound of Music premiered. The cause of death was heart disease. She was interred at Forest Lawn Memorial Park Cemetery, Glendale, California. Information about her net worth at the time of her death was not disclosed, but based on her long-term role as a character actress, the figure is estimated to be modest. Her legacy is a testament to resilience, a life fully devoted to the screen, but forever only a small part of the big picture. Evadne Baker as Sister Bernice, The Unexpected Departure. Evadne Baker was born on 19th August 1937 in Cape Town, South Africa. She was an artist of South African and British origin who was professionally trained as a ballet dancer from a young age and later worked as a model for Vogue magazine. In 1965, when The Sound of Music premiered, she was 28 years old and played Sister Bernice, a junior nun, in Nonburg Abbey. Although a supporting role, the character was part of the nuns' choir, contributing to the warm atmosphere of the Abbey setting. Evadne Baker's personal tragedy lies in her relatively early death and brief film career. Despite her solid artistic background as a former ballet dancer and model, Baker appeared in only a handful of feature films and television programs. After the role of Sister Bernice, she almost entirely withdrew from the screen to pursue other artistic activities, including painting. There are reports suggesting she was an abstract painter. Her passing at the age of 57, a fairly early age, abruptly ended a multi-talented individual, leaving much regret for the artistic contributions she did not have time to realize. Evadne Baker passed away on 17th of January 1995 at the age of 57 in St. Louis, Missouri, USA. The cause of death was not publicly disclosed. She was laid to rest in an undisclosed location. Information regarding her net worth is not available. However, her life is a testament to the fact that a career in entertainment does not always last, and some artists choose to step away from the limelight to pursue personal passions, even though her life ended too soon. We have together looked back at the ordinary, hidden, and tragic life stories of the legendary actors in The Sound of Music. From Christopher Plummer, who struggled with his disdain for the role that made his name, to Charmian Carr, forever typecast as a 16-year-old. We have witnessed the career sacrifices of Eleanor Parker and Peggy Wood, the health tragedies of Heather Menzies-Urich, and the secluded, solitary lives of Norma Varden, Richard Haydn, along with the unsung heroes like Marni Nixon and Portia Nelson. Whether their lives ended in tragedy or continued with many challenges, the stars of The Sound of Music left behind unforgettable memories and an immortal cinematic legacy. Their real-life stories are a powerful reminder behind the laughter, the joyous melodies, and the on-screen triumph lies deep human struggle, a truth about the fragility of fame and happiness. Their passing and their challenges show us that even great stars are only human. Share your thoughts. Among the tragic stories we have just explored, which actor's story moved you and is the most memorable? Please leave your comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so we can continue to discover more touching behind-the-scenes stories and untold truths about Hollywood's unsung heroes. See you in our next episodes.